this test is for you guys at the moment?
Exciting day coming into tomorrow. We've seen the pitch, wear quite considerably. There's, a lot of cracks in the surface, so hopefully it starts playing up a little bit more coming into day 5. Plenty of runs on the board and also still sort of quite free flowing as we've seen the batting throughout this game. So we'll have to be good for long periods and try and get those breakthroughs.
How difficult was it to bat out there? Like we saw you play like a reverse on drive, but there was the odd ball that kept low. Like, is this going to be sort of a down to the wire test match?
It could be. The ball's still hard for us, so hopefully we can, ask a few questions early. I mean, their tactics became pretty clear as we were sort of quite a long way ahead, in terms of position of the match, and so they were sort of bowling wide of the stumps, etc., as we were trying to increase the scoring rate. But so that was quite challenging. It kind of kept a little bit low, and some rolled a little bit as well. So hopefully we'll get those opportunities tomorrow. But it won't come easy, and both teams have been batting pretty well so throughout this test match anyway. So it'll be tough work, but I know the guys are really excited by the opportunity.
I think combined across both innings, you've had about 110 overs as the next man in.
Yeah.
By the time you did get out there today, what was your mindset? Was it just try and keep what Devon and Tom did going? Yeah,
and we knew sort of the position we wanted to get to before hopefully declaring, and we were able to do that. We wanted to be a little bit more fluent, but ones and twos really were almost a better option rather than trying to force it. There's quite a big wind. As we know, it's quite a big ground, so they were trying to use that, and they did it reasonably effectively. And then Rutchin came in and played beautifully, and we got to the position we wanted to, and were able to declare. So it was just trying to do the job that was required. We had a conversation at tea, and it was it was good we were able to get to that position.
Just on Tom, it feels like with yourself, Ross, Devon, Rutchin, there's sort of been, not forgetting, but Tom is overlooked in terms of how important he is. With the job you do, can you maybe just give a bit of perspective on the job he does for this team?
I mean, firstly, he's our captain, and that's from experience, that's not the easiest job in the world, and it requires a lot of time and attention. But I know he's loving that responsibility, and and his game is going to another level, I think. And he's always just been an incredible, solid opener for us, probably our best ever. And we've seen this summer, 300s in the series, which is magnificent, and it's not the easiest thing to do in New Zealand, open the batting, and to do it for 90 odd test matches over sort of 11 or 12 years as successfully as he's done, and obviously building an incredible record. His contribution's been immense, and now with the captaincy, and we're just seeing bigger and better things from him. So it's been brilliant to watch and be a part of his career, and he's got plenty left.
Do you think he does get the respect and appreciation from around the world that he deserves?
That's a tough question, isn't it? I mean, we certainly value what he does in our team, and he's totally aware of that. And we know that the contribution within the group is the most important thing, and he's done it in such a big way for a long period of time. So it's never overlooked in our group. I don't know what other people think. I think he's probably considered a very, very high quality opening batsman. I don't know. Do you think so?
I do. Yeah. There was a bit of commentary before this test. I'm sure this might be a question you're looking forward to, but there was some commentary that this might be your final test at home. Are you able to just sort of say where you're at in terms of not just test cricket, but now ODIs as well?
My position's still the same. It's the balance, and I got a young family, and that takes a lot of my time and attention now, and I'm still enjoying my cricket as long as that's at the forefront, and New Zealand cricket have been really helpful and respectful of that as well. And so whilst I'm still here, I want to try and contribute as much as I can, and give to the team as much as I can. And it's great to be involved in this series at home again. And there's quite a big break post this, so plenty more time to weigh all these things up.
How much is the appetite of seeing that calendar coming up? England, India, Australia, does that keep you interested?
Yeah, those are amazing tours, and I've had a few of them in my time, and as we know, the depth as well in New Zealand cricket at the moment is outstanding. I mean, gosh, the injuries that we've had, and the guys that are coming in and contributing like they are. I think in Wellington, across our 4 bowlers, there was about 7 test matches between them, and to see them come in and do as well as they've done has been fantastic. So going into, a big sort of test 18 months, I suppose, with a real battery of fast bowlers is exciting. And certainly going to England and Australia, etc., are really sort of mouth-watering prospects and great opportunities because they are tough tours. And for me, I mean, like I said, I've been involved with a few of them before, and my position is still the same, and it's sort of executing that balance as well as I can. Still wanting to very much respect that, there's a team being built, and so you're wanting to give as much as you can to it, whilst you're here.
Looking at you've got a PhD in services over the years.
I'm hopeless. I mean, you think you might, and then you...
Were you bowling ages from the far end, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, the breeze, the prevailing sort of suits AJ's from that end, but I think it'll be more about the actual surface and the variability. We've seen a number of balls today that have been quite variable, and I think it's really trying to put the ball in the right area, hit the wicket nice and hard, and hopefully we get that assistance that... I mean, gosh, you look at it and it certainly promises something, and another day. I think each day it's deteriorated quite a bit. It's honestly, it's been I think a really, really good surface, and something that we're not quite used to. We're used to seeing maybe 20 wickets, 20 plus in 2 days, and then it becomes that sort of long hard work to try and inch out wickets. Whereas this has been, I think, a bat first wicket, which is what we chose to do, and we've seen it crack up, which we don't see in a lot of our wickets. So the guys have really kind of enjoyed seeing it develop as it has, and hopefully coming into the last day we can make the most of it.
I know you've probably got a degree of bias, but I mean, 4 of the 6 test matches that we played at now, so you've gone to 5 days, which is probably indicative of what you're saying here.
Yeah, and I think this one though in particular, I suppose being at a relatively new ground, but this one certainly has still had that bounce that you want out of a wicket to keep different periods of play competitive. Obviously the West Indies team had a bowler go down. I mean, we're quite familiar with that, so it's not ideal at all, but certainly the guys that can hit slightly higher paces and hit the wicket really hard, I think can get quite a bit out of it, and we'd like to think the spin's going to play a big role coming into tomorrow too, which is, like I say, it's quite foreign in this part of the world, something that you see a little bit more across the ditch in Australia.
Kane, just on tomorrow, it gets to be an exciting sort of day for cricket. Are you feeling sort of excitement? I know you haven't left the ground yet, but is there an excitement sort of within to get back out there and have like a real, I guess probably memorable if you get the win day of Test cricket? Yeah,
absolutely. Those are, like you mentioned, they are the memorable days where any test you play, you put in for a long period of time, right? And to get to day 5 and really all results, they've got 10 wickets in the hut. They like to play their shots, and they need 4 and a bit and over, and we need the 10 wickets. So all 3 results being on the table is why you do it, and so a fantastic opportunity for us and for them, and both teams will have to do it well to kind of get on the right side of that result. So a really exciting opportunity for our boys. They've bowled a lot of overs, and but I think having this sort of potential opportunity to come away with a test win if we do it well, I think puts a little bit more in the tank. So we'll have to come and fire and be good for long periods tomorrow.
Don't forget
the tie.
4 results.
Yeah, a tie. We've been close a couple of times, haven't we? Yeah, let's see.
Just on your future, I guess in the last 6 months or so, there's been a couple of things sort of, I think, setting up the Zimbabwe tour, retiring from T20Is. Are you just able to sort of maybe shed a little bit more light on both of those, especially the sort of retiring from T20Is when Rob and Mitch have sort of said you were very much in their plans for the World Cup?
Yeah, a lot of it was time as well. I played the game for quite a long time, and I see a lot of talent as well coming through, and and also I have other things on with that balance, and so to kind of commit to such a long period of time away, and bringing the family back into that conversation was going to be a little bit difficult. So I did speak to them, and for me it made sense, and like I say, there's a lot of talent there, and I felt like it was just the right time.
Are you able to tell us more about the declaration, like the discussions that were had as you went out to as New Zealand went out to bat initially, and did those discussions about when to declare change after batting on it? Did it feel better than you thought? Or?
Firstly it was. It's easy to get ahead of yourself with some of those conversations, so it was kind of bat the first session, be positive, and Tom and Devon did it beautifully, going at sort of 4 and over or whatever it was, and then knowing that we want about 115 or whatever it was, 20 or whatever, overs at them, and when they're sort of 200 without loss, there was you're weighing up the different options, and clearly still a good batting surface. We saw some variable bounce, and but knowing that you do have to declare it wasn't quite that easy just to choose to pick up the scoring rate, but we wanted to get sort of 450 and have 120 overs or so, and we felt like that was a reasonable place to be.
And do you talk about trying to give them a sniff at all? Or do you want to kill the game for them, or do you want to give them a sniff, which may create more chances while you're bowling?
Yeah, good question. I think that's absolutely always in the conversation, and I think you take into account opposition, the surface, and work out what you think your best way of dismissing them and making an opposition uncomfortable is, and so that was where we landed with the discussion.
Devon and Tom combined for 515 runs.
Yeah, we kept saying it was a left-hander's pitch, so I think that proves it. No, yeah, they were magnificent.
I mean, are you able to tell us what? I mean, obviously you probably never had pad rash like it, but what was it like sitting there and watching these two bat like this?
Yeah, I mean, firstly it was incredible. Like I say, it's not the familiar thing to do to win the toss in New Zealand and bat first, and it was green, and you expect some movement, but that's what we did, and they batted beautifully. I mean, Tom's done it for a long time. He's just, his ability to repeat and his resilience as an opening batter. There's not many in the world that have played already the amount of games that he's played and had the success that he's had. And Devon's world class, and I guess we've seen it, over the time he's been with New Zealand, and as everybody has, you have your good days and you're not so. But when he's on, there's not too many better, and seeing him even just throughout the last couple of games as well, just getting back into a groove and playing with that fluency, and then he went out here and just did it for long periods, and it was glorious to watch. And then the other side of that was just sitting and waiting, which I know that's kind of more the question. And yeah, it was a good problem. In fact, at one point, I think it was about my 7th hour, which was magnificent, because that's what that's the ultimate really. And then and the wind was just blowing straight through the door into my eyes, and I was just sort of going, gosh, fantastic. But and so actually Rutchin came and sat in the chair for about half an hour just to kind of get a bit of moisture in my eyes again and sort of relax for a little bit, and then I went back into the hot seat and waited, and I felt a bit bad if we were to lose a wicket with 5 overs to spare and Rutchin has to walk out. So yeah, anyway, it was a really, really good problem to have.
Because there were those conversations, people were talking, does there come a point where someone else might bat 3 because you're actually exhausted?
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to complain too much because there were 2 guys that had batted for 8 hours, but yeah, I mean, we actually did. Rutchin came and sat down for half an hour, which was good of him, and then then I went back, and then the night he went in. So yeah.
And you talked about the decision to bat on a green one. Do you think that was a gutsy move? It feels like when you were the captain and previous captains, we would have bowled. But do you think Rob, Tom made quite a gutsy call? Yeah,
I think the last time we were here, I don't know if we won or lost the toss, but we batted. Put in, we were going to bat. So it's slightly different here, but I think generally in New Zealand, the most assistance you get is first, and so you're trying to look for any way to gain some sort of advantage. So if you win the toss, that's what you think about and consider, and usually that's what you do. And this is quite a new ground, so we're learning more and more. So coming into this match, we played a first-class game on it as well, so we had a bit of a look at it, and we felt like batting first. I mean, it's green; it didn't do a lot really, and they're always green to start here, but it does dry out so much, and whether that's the outfield and the ground or the breeze, and obviously the amazing weather that we have in Mount Maunganui almost every day. So so we wanted to bat first.
And just lastly from me, new coach Rob Walter, what are your impressions of him in the time that you've spent with him so far since he's come in?
Yeah, he's doing a good job. I mean, I haven't been around a huge amount, but we have caught up quite a bit, and we had a bit of a camp and these sorts of things, so he's getting more and more familiar with the side as well. I mean, there's existing things that have been a part of this environment that I guess have been here and have worked for long periods of time. So there's a balancing act, but he's really respectful of that, and in a lot of ways quite eager to see the team keep tracking in the right direction and putting all the time and effort in that's required to do that.
So Kane, given the context of cricket now, I think it's a very understood thing that whatever run tally you finish on will never be overtaken by a New Zealander. Does 10,000 test runs and having a Kiwi in that sort of club mean anything to you?
It's funny, like you play one test and you're pretty stoked, and then you hang around for a bit and then you have other conversations, like maybe the question you're asking. And for me, it's about contribution. I've never really played for, just never used this team for my own personal gain. And I know cricket's sort of saturated in stats, but you're wanting to go out and contribute to a team that you care about. So whatever runs you get, not really yours. They're for the team, and so what you end up on is whatever it is, and there's so many factors to that. There's the amount of games you played, there's the amount of opportunities that you get to bat, blah blah blah. But that's not really why I love the game, and so for me, it's about continuing to commit to the reasons why I love it, and that's being a part of a group and trying to contribute as much as you can.
And will there be any part of you tomorrow considering that it might be it? Will that be something you're allowing yourself to think? Or
As you certainly get to the latter stages, those thoughts pop into your mind. But like I say, at the moment, the thinking's the same still, and it's about the balance, and it's about still wanting to really respect the group and where it's going, and making sure that I'm able to try and contribute in whatever ways I can to the team.
Just lastly, in terms of that thinking, I might be being naive, but what is that thinking? Are you saying that you do still want to play for the team, into next year, or are you saying that it's a month by month decision almost when you consider your family?
Yeah, it's almost series by series, and like I say, after this, there's a pretty large block away from the group as well, and there'll be more conversations had, and so we'll just kind of cross those bridges as we come, and like I mentioned earlier, just with the balance in mind,